Okay, so starting at the back end of your mat, let's take that big deep inhale all the way up, reach up to the ceiling, and then look to your right. Bring it back to the ceiling, look to your left, and get that nice lateral stretch. Then fold it forward, touch that mat, walk it slowly out, and then let's pedal those feet right, left. You're looking right back down at your heels, pushing to the floor, roll to your toe. Nice and easy. Both feet back, hips go up nice and high in that downward dog stretch. Then both of your knees touch the ground, and then sit back a little bit into that child's pose. You're up on your toes still. And then you're going to push forward into plank. You're going to come up into downward dog. Heels go back to the floor. Bring your knees up and under you. Bend, tap them to the ground, and then sit back. So you're adding that like child's pose. You push your hips forward into plank. Hips go up high into downward dog. Looking back at your heels. Come forward into your plank. Bend those knees, tap them to the ground, sit back on those legs. And we're going to add a little push up here. You're going to push forward, down and up into the push up and back into the downward dog, back into plank, back to the knees, back to child's pose. So we're just going to kind of, from this child's pose, you'll stretch briefly, push forward into the full plank on your knees or on your toes. One push up, hips go back into downward dog, come back forward into plank, tap those knees, sit back in a child's pose, kind of pushing those hips back onto your heels. Then you push all the way forward into plank, come up on your toes, one push up, and then back to your downward dog. Now walk your hands back towards your feet and take that little forward fold. Keep your hands right in front of your toes here. Forward fold. And then you're just going to take that right leg lunge back, step forward. So your hands really don't move. Your feet are coming right up underneath you with a big alternating lunge back. Right leg. And take that time to take a stretch in the front of your hip. And then you come into forward fold, sit into that stretch, forward fold. Just getting those legs warmed up. We're going to do a little bit of backside, working our upper back with the weights. Nice. Tap it back right, tap it back left. Nice big long lunge. So we've got a little bit of time to get that range of motion, get your body warmed up. Let's take both legs back, walk your body back to the full plank and hold it right here. Looking back at your toes, just hold that. So get your alignment, hands kind of to the edge of the mat, feet together, hips are up, level with that upper back. Right into the core, take your knees down, take that big down child's pose stretch right here. And let's bring that left elbow close to your left side and look down your left, kind of back to your left foot. Nice long side stretch. Then your left arm comes forward, right hand to your right side, looking back over your right leg, upper side stretch in that left. Come back forward and let's take it wide into these push-ups. Get back into the plank and let's just go right through these reps here. Give me just push it out here these last 15 seconds, getting that upper body warmed up. So you're getting your core engaged, arms engaged. Everything right there is for your upper body. We're going to stay on the mat briefly. Okay, hold it right here. 5, 4, 3, and down on your elbows. Now, from this elbow plank, you're pretty much down the center of your mat. Palms are together, eyebrows over your thumbs. You're going to lift this right leg up. The knee goes to the mat and kick. So you're in a full plank. What happens is your left leg stays into that quad, takes a little bit of the weight because you're on that toe. If that gets to be too much on your left leg, you can drop to your left knee, but you're working your right glute while your left quad is pretty much holding your position. You've got abs going in that elbow plank. We haven't done this one for quite some time. So focus on a lot of things here. Balance down the middle, left quad, right glute. Both legs down, come back into your elbow plank, hold it right here. So now this feels like a little bit of a relief. Feet together, and if you put your placement in the center of your mat, everything's down that middle. So nothing's outside of your mat. You're looking back at your toes, and we just hold this position. So we're going to work core with the glutes, with the backside, just holding. Get those eyebrows over the thumbs, feet together. You're breathing. And you just feel that alignment right down that middle. And then we're going to go right to the other side. So this should not be killing the shoulders at this point. 4, 3. All right. Left foot is going to lift. Right quad takes that weight. Left knee to the floor. Kick. So you've got that tiny little range of motion. Knee to the floor, heel to the ceiling. Push. Good. And let that right leg just keep you isolated. That's a lot on that thigh. Keep your abs in tight, and then you'll feel light on your arms. If you say that to yourself, you'll kind of push that weight back into your foot. Press that heel up. Good. 15 seconds on that side. And then you'll have the option to take both knees down for another round of push-ups. Take both knees off the floor, whatever works for you. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, take that 5 seconds to get your hands wide. Again, you can be on your knees or on your toes. Come up forward into that plank and give me the full range of motion push-ups for this full interval. So you got 40 seconds here, getting that chest. Yeah, remember the key is to get that chest in between those thumbs and then get all the way to the very top as if you're pushing your shoulder blades to the ceiling. There, so you got time, just coordinate that exhale on the top, inhale as you lower. It's not a speed thing. It's more just about how much can you bend to get that chest to touch the ground. Nice. We're gonna get ourselves back up to our feet here in a second. 8 more seconds of push-ups. Give me your best. Push it through, push yourself a little bit. Walk your hands back toward those feet, kind of where we came from. You're standing on that right leg, left leg kicks, comes back to forward fold, kick. So if you're not very flexible, here's where I would use those weights to stand up. And then your feet are going to be right in line with those weights or where your hands are. So wherever your position is, that left leg kicks back and feet come right together. So the key is to keep that right leg pretty much straight and you're kicking through in that left side. So we'll do that superset, getting that glute, getting fired up on that right. Yeah, key is to keep those hands real stationary. Now that same left leg is gonna hold itself back right there. And then you're gonna bend the right leg and then come up with the knee. So I'm going down into the lunge. Still your right leg is forward. Left knee goes down and back, pull it up under the chest, down and back, up under the chest. Now, depending on, again, if your hands are to the ground, you're staying low.
You show that again?
Yep, you're going down to the lunge and then up, and that knee tucks right into your body. So if you're down on your hands, you're staying really low and that right glute is taking all that weight. So that's a lot on that right side. Oh, bend the right leg, pull it in, bend, and tuck that knee into the chest. All right, now hold that leg back. You're right there. So you're down low like this if you're in the runner's lunge. If you're up on your weights, you're here. We're gonna come up and down to the foot. Come up, you press that right leg straight, bend the right leg. Press the right leg, bend the right leg. Oh, yeah, you're really wanting to be thinking about that loading, right behind your waistband. So that right glute takes it right there. Your chest goes over that right knee. Then you drive through the heel, pushing it back and up with those arms. Down and back. Good. Oh, backside here. 3, 2, come back to the center. Bring those feet back. Now, if you're using your weights as handles, that's great. You're up in the plank if you want. You're here on your hands or on your weights. I'm just using my 15s for a little bit of a leverage lift here. Now I'm in the plank. I'm going to kick right, kick left. So my heel now is just going straight up, plank, heel lifts. That's all that is. Your head is forward. Your arms are directly underneath those shoulders. So you've got a straight line, shoulder, elbow, wrist. And then there's no bend in that leg. So drive through that flexed foot, heel lift straight up to the back. Oh, that right glute should feel a little bit tighter. Then same thing, walk your feet toward your hands or your hands toward your feet. Now we stand on the left leg. Right leg kicks back, come back into fold, kick. My key would be to be with hands down, My hamstring on that left side is just too tight. So I propped up my weights so I can be here. But the key also is to have your hands right by your feet. So my weights are straddling both of my toes, my pinky toes, stepping right in between there. And then that's your starting point. Both feet come directly together and a little rear kick to the back. Oh, think about that left side. It's stabilizing you, it's holding you. 3, 2, hold it back right there. And here's the one where you're going to drop that right knee down, tuck it up underneath your chest. So left leg stays like forward, bend, tuck it in, bend, tuck it in. Oh, if your hands are on the ground, you're getting low, you're getting super small to the ground. When that knee comes in, you bend that left leg, straighten that left leg. Whew, as the right knee touches down, pulls it in, down. Very tiny little movement. Yeah, that'll get those glutes warmed up. We haven't even added any of the extra weight yet. We're gonna get on that decline bench here after this next one. 5, 4, pull it in, 3. You've got that last one to do. Hold it back down low. Look where your position is. Now, if you're on the weights, you can come off the weights. You're gonna touch down, everything touches the ground, up and lift. Go forward over that left leg, push it up nice and tall, down and forward. Yeah, it's just as if your right leg is dead and your left leg has all of your weight. You come forward over it, and then you push your body up and back, all through the backside. Reach with those arms. Nice. We're gonna then just grab those heavy weights and get to our decline bench, 10 seconds. Get way down low over that left leg, come way up high. Yeah, working that full range of motion with those arms. Okay, pull your bench into play, and we're going to grab those heavy dumbbells. Where you sit on the bench is up to you. So if you want to go up higher, that's obviously going to be easier. So I'm going to sit up at the top of it. The weights are going to be just by your side. So I'm straddling it with my feet. I'm sitting up past halfway, and the weights are going to stay just like this, dangling in the pinky side of my hand. All I want you to do is just stand and press, sit all the way back down nice and easy. Drive to those heels, come to a standing position, sit back, okay? So that's all it is, nice and controlled. The goal is not to have big pendulum swing with your arms. They stay like that by your side the whole time. So if you look up kind of where your wall meets the ceiling, you're gonna sit down, straight down, and drive it up. So depending on the depth, if you have an ottoman or a stool or something else, if the bench is too low, use that. But that's what we want, feet against the bench. So knees and toes are perfectly forward, and you're just standing up. Yeah. Sounds so simple, just sit down and stand up, but you got that extra 30 pounds, you're driving through the glutes. Letting your upper body relax and stretch is key here. So your arms are not being strained, because that's coming next. 3, 2, stay up tall. Look where your toes are. I'm gonna fold forward. My weights go toward my bench. I'm gonna slouch in my back and then pull. I'm working right across the upper back. So this is that one where you're rounded, like your posture is not good here. I'm slouched, I'm rounded out, and then I pull right up to the rib cage. Tap the weights down by my ankles, pull them up to the side, lower, and let your back round out. It kind of feels good, actually. You get slouchy and then you squeeze. When those hands come up by your rib cage, you're squeezing, your back is just nice and taut. Taut is the word, nice and tight through the back. There's your back, 3, 2. All right, now step up on that decline. So your toes are down the bench. Right leg is going to step right alongside the bench. You're gonna go down and up. So now I'm down low on that bench. I'm gonna step way back with that right leg. It takes all the tension off of that knee because you're pushing back into your right foot. Chest stays up, but for you to come back up and stand, you gotta extend in that glute. So look where your weight is. In the left heel, you go into the right toe, come up to perfect posture standing on top of the bench. Reverse lunge, step. Yeah, 15s. Glad that was my only option today. 3, 2, up on top. Now we're going to fold forward and stand with a curl. You fold, up and curl, weights to the toes. Now your back is flat. So you're doing a deadlift, deadlift, up and curl, down, deadlift. Hips go back, hips go forward, and you bring that bicep curl to the shoulders. That's kind of complex. The angle of the bench is perfect for your ankles. So your weight goes back on your heels. You're not flexing your calves to be here. It's just a really good place to be. Nice. Deadlift. That 40 seconds gives you enough time to pace your breathing with your movement. Hold the weights up at the top. Left leg is going to step out the back and then back up to both feet together. Lunge, reverse that lunge right alongside of your bench. You take a little bit of the weight into that left toe and then drive it up through that right hip to come right up on top. There. Down, exhale. That is heavy. Extra 30 pounds you just loaded on your body. Those muscles are saying, what? They're recruiting all of the fibers around them to help out. And that's how you get strong. Pushing more resistance than what your body weight has. 5, 4, 3, 2, stay up on top. This time you fold forward, your back stays. So I'm just gonna show you from the side. Back stays flat and I'm pulling this way. Now that's a lot more back work. So your back is flat, abs are in. I'm just pulling the arms up and out. That's heavy. So you're working your mid shoulder blades. That's a bent over row. Yeah, nice. And once again, that angle of the bench adds just a little bit to that resistance. Good. Whew. We've got one more with both of these weights, and we're gonna drop one. This next one's gonna be fun. Bent over row. You're going to stand right here, catch your breath, pull your shoulder blades back. Now we squat, curl, squat. And if you've got the pressing option, if your height allows you to go overhead and press, great. Squat, stand and curl, overhead press. Squat, look at how nice and tight your legs are together, knees pressed together, and your hips are just going back in the chair, up to good posture, and then perfect posture when you bring those weights over your head. The purpose of bringing the weights over the head is to stand up nice and tall. You can't really do that wrong if you're putting those weights over your head. Nice. Oh, those should be getting heavy. 15s are a good amount of weight here. Okay, let's set one of those dumbbells down and you're gonna hang on to the other one like this. Now this becomes purposeful for our back because you're gonna hold the dumbbells head to head, okay? You're gonna take that right leg, side, left leg, side. So look at your feet, find that middle. Now, it's a tiny little bench, you're narrow. I'm stepping just off to the left and off to the right. And I know my feet are coming right to the center. So if you start in the middle, you step and then bring those feet together. Keep your chest up. And if you're holding the weight a little bit away from you like this, you're gonna start tasking your upper back muscles. Yeah, it's just a side squat. You sit right down the center. Now stay up on the center and bring that weight to the left shoulder, up and over. So a little bit more shoulder work over the head. That dumbbell stays parallel to the ground. So you're not tilting it. Keep it nice and parallel. And the only movement that can happen here is kind of at that above your waistband. And that starts working your abs. Nice. Whew. Around the world, we call this. Your head being the world. 7, 6, I'm burning in the arms. My elbows are sweating. 3, 2, hands to the thighs. I'm going to go to my toes, to the thighs, swing it up and lower. Deadlift, stand, swing. Ugh.
There is no way I can do that on a bench.
Yeah, if you're on the ground, that's fine. Do this, you can do this right on the ground, or you're only swinging up to like a kettlebell swing. So if you can't go over your head, it's actually gonna be a little bit more challenging because you're only going kettlebell swing and back. there's some momentum when I can get over my head. I'm using a little bit of momentum, which actually is an easier way to do it. So if you're limited by your ceiling, congratulations, you're working a little bit harder. Whew. Then you're going to hold that dumbbell up to this left shoulder. So it's kind of off this left shoulder. I'm going to step off with the right, look left to the knee, look left. Oh, that's a big twist. So your right leg finds its balance on the ground, and then it comes up to the middle to meet that left elbow. That is advanced. If you look straight ahead, you're going to meet right in the middle, right where you're looking. And that chest stays up. That one is not easy. Looks so smooth. My God, my elbow, I'm literally just sweating at the elbow. Nice. Lunge, twist. So good for your upper body. And then meanwhile, that left leg is taking all of your weight. Yeah, I like it. Up and twist. Okay. Now we stay here, up on the right shoulder and up and over again. So that's about your range of motion here. Whew. Up and over. Oh my goodness. We've got like the best snow. The snow plow has gone by 3 times in the last 5 minutes and there's no snow on the ground. Amazing. Up and over. Oh man. Good. Shoulder to shoulder, working those arms. You got this. Up and over. Up and over. Perfect. 10 seconds. That should be a little bit of burnout. Then we've got the last move with that one dumbbell with that other leg. Oh my gosh, this is only 15. Whew. Okay, hold it right there. Oh. All right, left leg is going to step, twist, knee to the elbow, twist, knee to the elbow. So you've got that low twist, up and pull it here. Good. Driving that leg forward. How's that balance today? That leg is straight on the bench. All you're concerned about is a little weight goes back in that left toe, and then you pull it up to meet that right elbow. Good. Get that twist. That's in the upper body. Nice. We'll do one. Yeah, we'll sit with this dumbbell. Good. Yeah, burning. 4-3. Okay, let's straddle the bench. I want you to go wider than we did before. You only have the one dumbbell still, and you're going to sit down here, up and press. You can press it if you want to. You can hold it. You can press it out, whatever you so choose, but you sit down wide. Toes are pointed outward. Heels are into the bench. Chest keeps your upper body up. You just sit straight down, nice and long in that inner thigh. Sit and press. Yeah. We're going to stay seated for this one for a little bit of abs with that dumbbell. Whew. Exhale, stand and press. Nice. 3, 2. Okay, stay seated. I'm going to sit down a little bit lower on the decline so if I can lay back a bit. I'm going to bring the weight right above my rib cage and I'm going to float my feet. So whatever that means to you. This is going to be easier. The higher I bend my knees and bring my heels up, the easier this is. The lower my feet are to the ground, the more that weight becomes kind of like a counterweight. So my back would love to arch. I'm holding that dumbbell and then the arms go in relation to the legs. So I extend my legs out. I extend my arms out. Oh my gosh, shaky already. My arms are trembling. It's a risk factor to have them over my head here. Oh, shaky, shaky. That is kind of good. And I'm going to bring it to my chest. Feet go down and push right here. So I'm just keeping my upper body lifted slightly. You can rest your head. I'm not on the bench low enough to lay all the way down. So I've got my abs engaged and I'm just doing that really easy chest press. But look at how tight and narrow your elbows are to your ribs. It really is almost like doing a tricep dip if you think about it. Your weight's going down between your hands and you're pushing straight up narrow. That's how you would do your triceps, which is coming up next anyway. So you're seated, you're just bringing it to your ribs, up and over your chest. Oh, burning out in the shoulders today. What the heck? 5 seconds. How can 5 extra seconds be just deadly? Okay, lay your head down. That dumbbell is going up and over your head and you're gonna pull your abs in. I want you to dangle that weight and it should be it's out of your sight. You're looking right through your elbows. My whole back side is pressing into the bench. I'm going to kind of tilt my pelvis. Now I'm going to push the weight away from the bench. So it's just literally not touching anything. I'm just hanging onto it with my fingertips. My upper body would love to arch to compensate for that weight. By you holding that down and suspending that weight, that's getting everything underneath your ribs and then isolating your shoulder. So you're not even moving here, you're just holding it. Then we're gonna add the tricep extension. So just hold it there. Right now you're thinking about how tight your abs are. Elbows stay right pointed to the ceiling, and then your weight comes right into your peripheral vision. I bend my elbows, I straighten my elbows. So nothing is moving with the upper arm. It stays completely vertical. That is a tricep extension.
We lost her. Uh-oh. We lost her.
Okay, there we go. I lost you for a second. It just
There we go.
there. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, that was for the full time. Now coming to the bridge. Weird. I looked up at you and I'm like, oh, my headphones were asking to connect. I'm like, they're in my ear and they're connected. You're holding a bridge. Now that dumbbell's right above your head and you're just square on like this. So now it's about your backside. Your feet should be in line with your bench. So you're kind of narrow, but they're not touching. So you're just literally in line with the edges of your bench. Arms are straight up. So if you think about that, everything is parallel from your wrist to the space between your knees, between your feet. You're just holding that. And then you're squeezing that backside and your upper body is into the bench comfortably. Now you're going to bend that elbow. And now you're doing the full pullover. So you reach the dumbbell way back like you're gonna touch the floor, bring the dumbbell to your hip bones. So your elbows stay at that, it's a little less than 90-degree bend. You're not bent at 90. Let's see, you're at about 120 degrees. You're not at 90-degree flexion. And you pull it over, pull. The key is to keep your hips stable, back into the bench. You're squeezing your backside and then working those muscles up underneath that rib where your arms meet your body. Exhale, pull it over and everything gets tight in that front. Squeezing. All right, lay those hips down, bring your chin to your chest. Now come back into your dead bug. So pull your feet up off the floor and we're here. And now we're gonna tilt that weight, right hip, left hip. So all I'm doing is in that dead bug, moving the weight to the right side. God, that is so challenging. If that's way too much weight for you, 15 pounds is a little bit heavy. Obviously you could drop it, but just tilting, you don't even have to go low, but as soon as it goes beyond center, what happens is the rest of your body adjusts to keep you on that bench. So it's just passing the weight past center, past center. 10 seconds. And I think we're gonna rest the weight on our hips to come back in a bridge. Now it's not gonna be that heavy. All right, put the weights right on your hip bone. So you're gonna kind of right at that fold, that crease in your hips and come into the bridge. I'm just gonna guide that weight with my hands just so it's kind of level holding here. So all I've done now is put, it's not quite 15 pounds. You could hold both of your weights on each hip bone if you stood them up, but this is fine. I just want you to get more about the levelness. So I'm squeezing my backside, knees and toes are pointed straight in front of me. Head, neck, and shoulders are relaxed, and I'm just holding that weight at a nice balanced, what we'd call tabletop position. And you're just squeezing. Squeeze right there, just hold it. Nice. Did we lose? Oh, let's see. All right, now lift that right leg. So you're holding the bridge and your weight goes into the left. You shouldn't have to move that leg. I just want you to, that's such a tight squeeze. Now, if the weight starts affecting your, back at all, then get rid of it. If you just can't do it because you're imbalanced or there's weakness there, get rid of the weight and see if you can come up and down in there. You can make it easier by bringing your feet closer together. That's why that kind of narrow stance, if you stay within the lines of your mat, it should be pretty much a an exercise you can do without shifting and moving that standing foot. And then if you can do it, then we add the dumbbell. Okay, bring that both feet down, hold it right here, and then shift the weight, get to your left side. Oh, extend that right leg. Oh my, and you're just holding it. Hold that right leg out. Oh, so everything in that left side is just trying to hold you. I don't care what you do with those arms. If you don't need to balance the dumbbell, then you can hang on to the bench, but you're up in a bridge with your right leg extended, left leg is holding all of your weight. Oh, herein lies a lot of our issues with glute work and not being able to function the way it's supposed to. 4, 3, 2, lower your hips, take that weight up off of the hips. Let's come back into that pullover in the bridge. So now you have no weight on your hips, you're into the bridge, pull that weight over your head to your hips. So I want you to think about your weight being on both of your heels. Actually pull your toes up off the floor a little bit so you're just flexed in the foot and your weight goes right into that heel. So toes are lifted up so you're not using them at all. And then when you drive into that, back of your foot, that's going to go up your calf. It's going to drive it right down the back of your leg. And you have to think about squeezing the glutes. Hold that position. Only thing moving here is the arms. Over your head, squeeze and pull. Can you squeeze your glutes tighter? Oh, hold that weight straight up over your head. Hold it. Now, if your arms are shaky, make sure you got a nice grip on that. And we do tricep extensions. Now just the forearm is moving. Bend and straighten. Now that's probably a little light for your triceps. That's okay. But look what's happening in the glutes. This is your static hold. You're building some good strength and endurance by keeping that contraction steady the whole way. But you got to remind yourself, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the glutes. The arm movement is kind of repetitious, so you don't have to think about that. 8, 7, full extension on those arms. Think about the back of your arms. So this is a static hold, right? You're just contracted, not moving. Now we're going to move. Bring that weight to your chest, sit on the edge of the bench. Now, if you can stay low like that, great. Heels are up against the bench. Now we stand and press. So now we had that full movement. Your glutes were just engaged in what we call isometric. Now you're moving. This is an isotonic movement. You contract, relax, contract. Yes, functional. There you go. Who knew you'd get a lesson on muscle contraction? Yeah, your muscles can move in different ways. This is how we functionally move in a day. Typically, they're stretching and contracting. But if you think about your abs and posture, when you're sitting at a desk all day, they're static. Okay, stay low, sit down, walk those legs out. Now I'm upright. This leaning back is a lot easier. So look I'm sitting upright. I can use more of my arms. I dump that dumbbell past my right hip, bring it up and pass it over my left hip. So it's kind of just orbiting your waistband. So you want to lean back far enough that it's engaging waistband. Perfect. Yeah, I like kind of this fine tuning. We don't take a lot of time to do this on backside on Monday. Very specific that we're just getting that low back, glutes, hamstrings. So I think I'm going to have us just turn. Okay, get rid of those dumbbells. I'm going to have, I want the decline. I'm going to face you so you can face away from me if you want, but I'm going to flip my bench this way because it's just easier. And then I'm going to put my mat on top of here and I'm going to kneel. I want you kneeling on the decline. Okay. So if you know that's not super comfortable on your knees, double or triple up your mat. And you're going to be like this. We don't need any more weights for this. I'm going to kneel with both knees on. Maybe I'll show you from the side. I want your feet hooked on that edge. And then you're just kind of small. You only have so much space to use. Hands are up and over the top. I'm looking over the leg of that bench and I'm going to keep my toes like this. So from here, you've got that tiny middle. Left arm is going to go straight out. Right leg is going to go straight back. I just want you to hold this. So this is what we call quadruped, or they call it bird dog. Left arm is alongside of your head. You're looking straight down. Right leg is straight back. And envision walls on your step. And there's how narrow you are. So I am clinging on with that left toe. Your balance is going to be given by that left toe pushing into the bench. If you don't need it, point your left toe away from the bench and see what that does to your balance. So ridiculous. Yeah, left arm is strong. Be strong, be strong. I just want you holding. Again, this is isometric. I produce the force and I'm just holding it. And then I challenge my balance by pointing that toe. Okay, bring it in. Stretch it back for a second. All right, focus on the other side. Get your weight evenly over the middle. And this time, left leg goes back, right arm goes right alongside your head. And then just kind of look at your alignment. How are you on that left arm? Wrist, elbow, shoulder, everything's aligned, head is forward. And then that right leg is really flexed, reaching to the back, or your left leg. Left leg. Now point those right toes away from the bench, and can you balance right there? You're just taking contact points away from your proprioception. Oh, and if you're really lopsided, or if this is not a good side for you, practice. Okay, let's switch. Now what we're gonna do, I'll go to the other side, left arm, right leg, and now we bring it in and reach, bring it in. Now you've added the movement, which that's actually a more physically demanding move, but feels easier because you're not fighting to hold the balance. Touch that elbow to the knee, reach it out as far away from you to the front and back as you possibly can. Oh, this is good for that upper shoulder area. We don't need a lot of resistance there. You're only going to the height of your back, so you're not reaching too much range of motion. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You're going to take that left hand, reach back and grab that right foot. Oh, and just feel that little stretch. That should feel really good. You're pulling that heel into the glute. Nice little stretch on that quad. Whew. And let's switch. Bend that left knee, reach back with your right hand. So there's your stability and balance. We're stretching. And look at my right toe right away goes to the edge of the bench, like, hang on. And if you don't need that, that means that your core knows where the center is. Okay, we've got the other side to do. So get yourself centered. Right arm goes out, left leg goes out. Hold it right here for a second. Find that stability. And then we bring that elbow to the knee and reach. It looks real easy, but I want you really kicking that left heel back, press through that heel, and then get a nice contraction, elbow to the knee. In. You kind of round up your back too. Round it up and then reach. And you're going straight forward, straight back, not out to the side. Fabulous. Good. 10. Some of these simple things are physically, they look so easy to execute, but there's a lot going on here. 3, 2, take your hands to the bench, take your feet off the bench, stretch it back here. Give me that downward dog. Whoo, into your back, hips go back. Now, look where your hands are. You're gonna bring your body forward and you're holding that plank like this. If you're going to bend those elbows, it's going to be a tricep push-up no matter how it is. So my head's way forward, I go down and up. So just give me that. That's an elevated tricep push-up. It's actually easier. You should be able to stay on your toes for most of those. And then if it gets too intense, just gently take one knee to the bench or both knees, but just give that full range of motion. Chest right down in between your thumbs.
I have my bench going the wrong way.
Are you on the oh, I can't tell. Yeah, that might make a difference. You're going up the bench.
Yep, didn't know that.
Oh, you're on the decline. Well, fabulous.
You said something about you were going to turn your bench, but we didn't need to turn ours.
Well, then you would have been facing backwards, which is fine. Oh my God. And I can only see the top of your head. So I can't tell if it's, well, that's a little interesting. Okay, let's go down like this. Now you're going to go from here. So I'm in an elbow plank. Yeah, you just made it harder. That's the beauty of this bench. It just moves your body weight to become resistant. So if you're going down on the decline, your upper body would have been working a little bit harder. Legs would have still been doing the same thing. That's not so much for this. If you would have been doing those push-ups the whole time on the decline, way harder. And we should be doing some decline stuff because we are equipped, we're strong enough to be doing them flat. The incline actually makes it easier. So it's almost a regression if we do them there. Okay, switch, you're down on your elbow, switch your leg. And now that leg just goes up and back. So very isolated on that glute. We're working straight down the back side. Oh my. Then we'll do our last little bit of abs. God, that went so fast today. Fine tuning with 40 seconds does take up a little bit more time. I guess we do less exercises, but it's a little more isolated and purposeful. I want you to work that back side. We've got to do that. I mean, once a week is not enough. I put it in other classes, but specifically on Mondays, you want to get that posture set. If you're getting ready to sit in a chair or do something on a computer. 4, 3. Okay, let's do one little back thing. So you're laying down, so your head is up on the incline. So this should be a real comfortable. Elbows are alongside of my bench. I'm just going to lift my elbows up to my shoulders and back down. If I don't have the strength in my back, I'm not going to lift my chest up and away. If you do, it's a tiny little lift, or if you want to lift up, keep your hands down. So whatever you feel like you want to work. And that's your posture. Right down the middle of your scapula, and just pull those arms up and kind of over the top of that bench. You're flexing and extending. You relax, exhale, lift. Relax over the bench, exhale, lift. Oh, plus we sprinkled some of those abs in there. I guess we didn't neglect the abs totally. 3, 2, 1. All right, stay down. Bend that left leg, pull that heel into the chest or into the glute. Ah, nice and long right here. Ha ha ha. And let's switch. Other side. Oh my goodness. We'll take some stretches today. Bring your hands up underneath your rib cage. Come back into that downward dog. And let's do a big step forward. And that left leg goes forward. I'm going to let my right leg sit on that bench and look over that left side. Feel that big stretch. Okay, what are you doing? Here, Lucy. You got that nice long inner thigh stretch. And you're going to come back through a downward dog. Hips go up and back. Feel that stretch up in your lats and your sides. And then step the right leg forward and get that nice long stretch, looking over that right side. And then let that left leg take it to the bench. So you're releasing a little bit of that weight so you're not holding everything in your arms. Oh, okay. Come back, straddle that bench, and then hands go over the top. I want you to sit back like this and feel that you're pulling. So my hands are attached up at the bench and I'm sitting back. And that's going to stretch all along my sides, into the back of my hips. And then you push forward into a straight leg. And then here is that deadlift position. So if you push into the straight leg, now look at your hands are on the bench. Here's your flat back. Feel what that stretch is right here. That's what you should be doing when we do that deadlift. When we go down and up like this, this is what you're working right here. So now you just take that stretch and I can have my hands on the bench and kind of arch my back. So you're kind of cat and cow right here. And that's all to extend the glute through that backside. Oh, let's chin to the chest, roll it up. Oh, hands behind you. Good start to the week. Happy Monday. Okay. Good work today. That flew by. Flew by. Okay, girls, that's how we do it.
Good.
My goodness.